I don't think you want to know. It's probably some really dark place that goes into the deepest pits of hell, and that anybody that gets dragged into that pit becomes devoid of any emotion or reason, or anything logical for that matter. Hello everyone, my name is FlareBlitzed and welcome to Dark Reflections. A series of murders and bizarre incidences have occurred in a private library that has become inescapable. Eventually, food runs out and the library has become filled with madness. This work is a visual novel of the survival suspense genre set in a private library. Okay, let's just get into this adventure. You'll be able to find a link to this game down in the description below. There is no save data yet. Okay, start. We shall do this. So on Christmas Eve, something happens, and you know what happens when we go into a game for the first time. We find a means to be able to save, and in this case we'll do that. Also, why are the letters so spaced out? Like, they don't need to be like that. It's that time of the year when deep snow can be seen outside of a window. Today is a special day, for the world and for us. How so? How so? How long do I have to stay here? I want to go home, I want to go home. Mom? What do you mean, Mom? I sat quietly, glancing at the girls raising their voices beside me. No, I just didn't have the strength in my body. I could see my breath while the heat was being drained from my body. It's cold, I can't move anymore. That's right, it's cold. Too cold. I'm going to freeze at this rate. Shiori, are you okay? I looked at the face of the girl next to me. She smiled, just like the first time we met. I smiled back too, and she smiled too. Okay, repeat there. Amazing. My body started to get hot for some odd reason, being surrounded by all these wonderful people. It's warm. I could hear the crackling of the trees. Now I'm not cold anymore. But what do we have here instead? Do we have a library filled with the dead now? December 9th, so nearly 3 weeks prior to those events. Definitely over 2 weeks. Kenji has our protagonist's name. Kenji from KS. Hopefully this Kenji's not going to be like that, because if that's the case, then we're going to be in for a rough time. KS as in Katara Sojo. While enjoying the gentle rumbling of the bus, I opened my eyes and noticed that the view out of the window was different from usual. Where is this place? I looked around the bus and for some reason I was the only passenger. Excuse me, are we at Yato Academy yet? I asked the driver and he answered courtly, looking ahead. We're past it a long time ago. Okay. What? Oh man. I took out my phone to check the time, but I was already late for school. I should get off at the next stop and find a bus that will take me back. Or should I just skip school today? As I was considering my options, the driver's voice over the microphone echoed throughout the empty bus. Yato Shrine, Yato Shrine. Yato Shrine? I never heard of such a stop and was stunned at how long I'd been asleep. Well, buses take you to some strange places when you're not aware of your surroundings. Make sure to always keep an eye on the time and where you are, and not fall asleep while you're on the bus, dear Kenji. Hopefully you're not the Kenji from Katara Sojo. Where is this place? It was good to get off the bus anyway, but the whole area was so unfamiliar. I had never imagined that there was such a place in my city. I didn't think it was such a large city, but the bus driving along the dirt road made me feel like I was in the middle of nowhere. I was mildly shocked to see a bus stop for the opposite direction just across the street. I sprinted to it and checked the timetable. Geez, seriously? The bus wouldn't be coming for another 40 minutes. Would it be best to just skip school today? You've got to be kidding me. That's it, I'm ditching. I'm getting out of here. But I am intrigued by the shrine. Since I made up my mind, I felt like exploring this unfamiliar Scenic spot. The name of the stop was Yato Shrine, so there must be a shrine around here. I started looking around for a Yato Shrine. This can't be it, right? It was a rundown building that looks more like a life-size miniature street shrine than the beautiful shrines I'm used to. Honestly, I'm not sure anyone would come to this place to worship. I was planning to kill some time by drawing a fortune, but this was a bust, of course. What to do? I was surrounded by green trees no matter which way I turned. I was at my wit's end, and then... Hello, who was in the bushes? A raccoon dog? A raccoon? I was surprised to see an unidentified creature peeking out from the bushes, but then he got startled and immediately ran back into the bushes. Genji, you was one who fighted this creature. Oh hey, wait! I thought I'd take a picture, so I took out my phone and followed the critter into the bushes, but I couldn't miss something so rare. Exactly, but of course there's no way I could catch up with the wild beast, and suddenly I was left alone, all alone in the bushes. Oh, disappointment. I put my phone back in my pocket inside. The taste of defeat is so bitter. Bittersweet at other times. Which is none of the times. I looked down at my feet and saw a few small red berries rain down from the trees. Perhaps that beast had come out to gather food before hibernation? What even is a raccoon dog? Do they even eat berries? Thinking about such stupid stuff, I turned back towards the bushes I came from. Also, I thought, what the... Did you go somewhere else now? There's no path. Come to think of it, I couldn't see anything that even looked like a path. Before I knew it, I'd lost my sense of direction in the bushes and started going the wrong way. It's not a good idea to get lost out here. You should never stray from the path after all. Frustrated, I knew I had to start walking anyway. And how long did I wander? Even in the slightly chilly air of early water, my neck and back started to sweat, and then... Suddenly a large European-style building appeared through the deep forest. I thought I'd been bewitched by a raccoon dog. For goodness sakes, what is one of those? That's how abruptly the impressive structure appeared. At first I thought it was some rich guy's villa, but there was an elegant wooden sign on the stone gate post that read Takaita Library. This could be where the game is mainly based around, Takaita Library. I patted my chest, relieved to know that it was a place where I would not be in trouble for entering. Takaita? How do you pronounce that? Yeah, I'm trying to fathom out how to pronounce that as well. And then the door just entered. Ugh. What the hell's going on? And here is the library. I opened the door and looked inside, and it looked like a European castle, just like in the movies. The red carpet that lay down in front of me stretched straight up to the stairs, and two armored figures stood across the stairs holding spears. Part of the vaulted ceiling was a skylight, and the light pouring down from it created an absolutely fantastic scene. It's a library, right? As I fearlessly entered, I was relieved to see that there were large doors on either side of the entrance with many bookshelves behind them. Oops. When I stepped off of the red carpet, I was greeted by a slippery stone floor, and the sound of my shoes echoed in the quiet space. Still, there was no sign of anyone coming out of the rooms on either side. I decided to go into the room on the right, with an unnecessary sense of urgency. Perhaps I really need to go. There's no one here. The bookshelves were lined up and evenly spaced like giant dominoes. But in the meantime, there was no one in sight. And there was no one at the desk or anywhere here. Excuse me? I finally shouted louder, thinking that I wouldn't be a bother if there was no one around reading. Shh! This is a library after all. Hello, I heard a cold, reproachful breath behind me and turned in surprise and... Hi there, how are you doing today, whomever you may be? A girl was standing there, staring at me blankly. Oh, for a moment I almost lost myself in her eyes that seemed to suck me in. Okay, but I spoke up again and to make myself seem less suspicious. What? The girl held out a piece of paper which I took without a second thought and walked noiselessly toward the counter. What the hell is this? When I took a look at the paper in my hand, I found the rules of the Takaita library written on it. In other words, please leave mobile phones or watches with alarms at the counter. Please handle the books with clean hands. The library does not lend out books. Therefore, they can only be seen or handled within the premises of the library. No food or drink is allowed in the library. Leave your cell phone? We don't hand out books at the library? The girl standing at the counter glared at me when I raised my voice in a curt manner. Sorry. It's intimidating when a beautiful girl has a scary expression on her face. Really? So I shrunk back and processed quietly to the counter. It's intimidating if it's a beautiful looking person, and it's intimidating when a quote-unquote not beautiful person is having a scary expression. A scary expression is a scary expression regardless of the face that's pulling it. Hey, I'm lost. Can you please just tell me how to get to the bus stop? No words. As she looked up at me from where she was sitting, I couldn't help but feel nervous seeing her face. What a beautiful girl. Clear white skin. Big eyes with long eyelashes. Thin lips with a glossy shine. I was supposed to say shrine there. I was so speechless and dumbfounded by her appearance. I would believe if someone told me she was actually a doll. Who was there? Suddenly the girl's hand rang the bell on the counter, startling me enough to make me jump, but soon after the door behind her opened and... another one. Yes, what is it? What is going on within the world of you now then, huh? From inside a woman in a white coat emerged. Unlike the girl who didn't say a word, the fact this person saw me and called out to me made me feel less nervous. Oh, thank God. I'm sorry, am I being rude? No, not rude. I glanced at the girl, but she ignored me and resumed writing something in her notebook. Well, you see, I'm a little lost and I was wondering if you could tell me how to get to the bus stop. I repeated myself to the woman in the white coat who seemed to understand what I was saying. You got lost and end up here? That is the gist of it. The woman looked at me suspiciously. That smile does not look suspicious, I'm not gonna lie. A different type of beauty from the girl at the counter. I wonder if a white coat is what gave her a cool vibe. This is a library, isn't it? I guess you could say that. Exactly. What was with this atmosphere? Like they didn't want any visitors, even though it was a library. Perhaps realizing my suspicions, the woman quickly gave me directions. How and from where did you get lost? There's a minor path right outside the gates. Go down it and you'll see the bus stop. What? Huh? I just couldn't believe I hadn't noticed the path, and then the woman in white spoke to me again with a small smile. Do all these characters only ever have one impression? I'm sorry about that. I don't mean to laugh. I thought you were calling me by my name. I'm Michi. Michi Kasaragi, sorry. Is that so? I'm sorry, my name is Kenji Azuma. Is that uniform from Yikan Academy? Is it a school holiday today? I thought I'd be caught ditching. I don't believe it. She was going to tell the school, wasn't she? No, it's not. I dozed off on the bus on my way to school and ended up here. I'm so sorry. The more I spoke, the more I felt like I was digging my own grave, so I finally shut up. But Miss Kasaragi didn't seem fazed at all. I don't care whether you go home or read a book. Oh, I see. Okay, that's a little bit mean. Oh, I see. Well, then, might as well stay a little. I felt kind of bad to just walk away, so I decided to pick up a book that I wasn't even interested in. Is there a fee for reading? It's free. It is a normal library. Oh, I don't think this is normal, but I've never been to a library before, so I didn't know the usual system. Usually you would be able to take out books. Again, everyone has the same expression, like it's nice to have a smile, but it just doesn't have a 360 perspective on things. The girl who had stayed silent held out a small basket to me. It might be that she's mute. Oh, and if you're going to read a book, you'll need to put your phone or anything that makes noise in this basket. That's the rule. Ah, yes. I take my phone out of my pocket and put it in the basket. Then the girl gives me a numbered tag in return. Since she was so silent, I had wondered if she was unable to speak. That is a possibility. There, Miss Kasarowski let out a sigh and scolded the girl. You're a guest. She should at least greet you. My apologies. Miss Kasarowski was mid-speech when the girl finally opened her mouth. Okay. Shiori Tokaita. Okay. Tokaita. Thin and tall. Her voice was small, but it had a clarity that rang in my ears. She had a beautiful voice that fit her beautiful face. Okay. When I started blushing, Shiori turned her face away and went back to work again. At that moment, I felt disappointed. Why is that the case? The desire to talk to her some more was building up in my... Stop it, man. As I felt my face burning, Miss Kasarowski stood between Shiori and me. Yeah. Did you read the sign out front? What an unusual last name, right? Well, at least you have more than one expression. Oh, so it is Tokaita. I couldn't read it. That was the first time I understood how to read the name of a library, and when I also understood that Shiori's last name was that Tokaito. I don't think that's the case. She's very shy. If you need anything other than books, just let us know and I'll be happy to help. Well, I'm just very glad that there's more than one kind of expression, because I thought we was going to be stuck with permanently happy characters, which is happy, but not that expressive. Oh, okay. Oh, great. Oh, sorry. There was an incoming call on the phone I had left with her, and Shiori jolted and rushed to go get it. I'll turn it off right away. What? Going from the phone, I slightly brushed my hand against hand, and she quickly backed away. You don't have to be so frightened. I was more than a little shocked at how much she was taken aback, and my shoulders slumped. But Shiori just sat back at the counter without saying a word, clutching the hand I... Okay, let's move on. Her hands were so cold. This girl was actually a doll after all, wasn't she? That raccoon dog did something to me. You say that out loud. That's what it felt like. That's how unbelievable she was. The hustle and bustle of the real world as we knew it felt so far away. December 10th. Okay, so a day after. Whew. Remembering what happened at the library yesterday, I let out a deep, deep sigh. No matter how hard I try, was I doomed to never get along with Shiori? Is it true that first love is never reciprocated? What's with the sign? That's dark. Okay, Erica, what's up with you? My classmate Erica Kimishima, was the one who was mocking me. She's a bit of a pain in the neck, always trying to get involved in everyone's business. You're probably thinking about your final exam, right? Don't worry, I haven't studied at all either. That doesn't make it any better for any of us, thank you very much. Oh dear, I didn't understand what she meant by don't worry exactly, but then I remembered that there was a final exam in about a week. What does the test cover again? How would I know? Do you know, Yuna? No. Oh, Yuna knows. Does she know? I don't know. Do you know? do I know? Does any of us know at the end of the day? The girl who had been behind Erica stepped forward quietly. Her name is Yuna Shiraki. Apparently, they had known each other since they were in elementary school, so quite far back. Modern Japanese starting from page 25, math science from page 20, history starts from that period of time, and what era is that era? My goodness sakes. It's... You're an idiot, even I know that. Okay, smart ass, why don't you say it then? Huh, Kenji? You're amazing. PE isn't the only subject you're good at. What's that? I mean, you're in such high remand with all the sports teams. High demand? Being asked to join the rugby team, the baseball team, the soccer team, and turning them all down. That's kind of cool, isn't it? You're like a lone wolf. Like an outlaw. Like a... What's another word for it? Oh, dear. Forgot what the word is called, but it's like you're not like a part of any kind of tribe or anything like that, but it's like a Japanese term. Outsider, no. I'll probably think of it when it's like 4 AM in the morning. It's like, oh, I got it! Erica and Yuna are polar opposites. Erica is a fashion-forward girl who alters a uniform without any regard for the dress code, and she is cheerful but has strong, aggressive personality, okay? On the other hand, Yuna is the quiet and unassuming type who studies hard every day. It's a wonder how they even become friends, because opposites can attract. Opposites can always attract, for goodness sakes. As for me, I'm pretty sure Erica will fail everything. That's not true. Yuna's going to help me study what's on the test and lend me her notes, right? Yeah. Not paying attention to Yuna's forced smile, Erica leaned forward to talk to me. Why don't you study with us, Kenji? Yuna can always predict what's going to come up on the test, trust me. I'll pass, I'm going to study at the library. Is that so? Kenji, at the library? Erica shrieked in a high-pitched voice that made my ears ring, and I wouldn't know what it'd be like because I turned the voices off because it's Japanese audio. Also, apparently they're all voiced by VTubers as well. What's wrong? Is it wrong for me to go to the library? Exactly. What is wrong with a person going to the library except for the fact that it could be off-putting because it's somebody goes to the library in which they don't usually go to the library. It's not wrong, but it's not like you to go to a library. I can't believe it. Well, I wouldn't have believed it either, but these things happen. I mean, pigs can fly after all. Okay, maybe not. Personally, the library is a better place to study than school. At least that's what I was telling myself. And if I study at Tokaido Library, Michi can help me with the parts that I understand and I can enjoy... Oh, for goodness sakes, will you get your mind out of the gutter, man? Not everything is about looks. Sometimes you have to look inwards, not on the outwards. So that's killing two birds with one stone. I'm not going to say that little bit of a sentence. Just to make sure, it's not like a gym named Library, is it? No, it's not a gym. And it's not involved anything involving looking at people within a gym. Because some people say they go to the gym, but they don't actually do gym stuff. What kind of name is that exactly? I wonder how Erica's mind works. I don't think you want to know. It's probably some really, really dark place that goes into the deepest pits of hell, and that anybody that gets dragged into that pit becomes devoid of any emotion or reason, or anything logical for that matter. She should use that peculiar brain of hers to become a comedian or something. Were you just talking about going to a library, and who are you? Azuma, are you going to study at the library? If that's the case, I might as well join you. Who is talking here? The girls, hearing Erica's loud voice, join in on our conversation. No, not with you guys. You'll just distract Kenji. Oh, come on, that's not true. We're just going to study quietly. Loudly. Quite loudly. Anyway, no means no. Erica dragged the girls away from the conversation and started complaining about something. Complaining about something. Yuna, who had been observing quietly the whole time, whispered to me with a small sigh. Erica's just jealous, exactly, yeah. Erica wants us to herself. Huh? I pretended not to notice, but I was aware of Erica's feelings. She's always comes on so strong. She gave chocolate for Valentine's Day and got me presents for my birthday and Christmas. I have yet to find a partner who does either of those things, but more so for me to do that to them as well. Give them gifts. The gift of trust. But unfortunately I don't see Erica that way. Okay? She is cheerful, lively and not a bad person. But I could never imagine her as a GF. Up until now I just thought Erica was annoying. But after I started having feelings for Shuri, I felt kind of sorry for her. Why? I'd like to stay here together as long as possible. Not in a romantic way of course, but as friends, exactly. And alas, hey Kenji! One day Erica came up to my desk during break time, and she was upset for some reason. What have we done now? What are you mad about? What do you mean what am I mad about? You lied to me about going to the library. I didn't specify what kind of library I was studying in, Erica. What? I wasn't lying. No way, I've been checking the library every day since then, and I haven't seen you once. Checking? The library? Why? Because you said you were going to be there. Yeah, I was there. No way. I told you I'm not lying. Erica, which library did you go to? Which library, duh? The public library? The one next to City Hall. No, that's the wrong library. What? There's another library? Well, there is. No way. Is that all you have to say? Well, Kenji probably goes to the library near Urato Shrine on the outskirts of town. The outskirts? There was a library there? Yep, there is. You sure know your stuff. Actually, I work there part-time. You say that, Yuna? Oh, really? I couldn't hide how shocked I was. Maybe Yuna and Shuri are the same person. Moving on, I couldn't hide how shocked I was. It was surprising that we hadn't run into each other there yet. Is there really a library in such a place, Kenji? Yeah, well, yeah. Oh, yeah? So I was hopping to conclusions. Yes, you were, so stop being so presumptuous. Jumping to conclusions. So, when's the next time we go into that library? Next time? I won't be able to go again for a while. Final exams are coming up, exactly. I told them I was taking time off to study for the exams. That's not fair. It sucks that I am the only one who hasn't been. Look, Erica, it doesn't mean that you should go, okay? Maybe we'll get trapped in there at some point by the forces of the paranormal. But not the bloody Chronicles kind of paranormal. Erica flapped her arms and legs, throwing a tantrum as she does. Just like a kindergartner. But can we all go? When the exams are over? Okay? Yeah, that's right. When the exams are over. If it was just me, then I think it would be fine, but probably Erica didn't like the fact that Yuna went to the same library, exactly. Goodness sakes, Erica. For a while after that, Erica was pouting. How come I didn't know about it beforehand? Why didn't you tell me before the final exams were coming up? Right, let's get going then. Let's get on with this. December 15th, 9 days before the incident. And alas, what do we have here? The traditional classroom bell. Ooh, finally done. The finals week is finally over. There's so much time we skip. So much in between time that could have been utilized. The finals week was finally over, and with the chime of the bell, the whole classroom was filled with a sense of freedom. Regardless of my results, I could finally get up from my desk now. Kenji! Hey, Erica seemed to feel the same way, and even though she had looked like she was dead this morning, she now had a bright smile on her face. How'd you do? Did you think you avoided failing? Jeez, don't ask me something like that when we just finished. My bad. We'll just find out when the day comes. But more importantly, we're going, right? No, we're not. Yeah, let's go. How about... Ramen sounds good too, though. And then karaoke afterwards. Okay, I see what you mean by that. But not the meal part. What on earth is one of those? Okonomiyaki. I'm not native Japanese and I don't know the Japanese language, so I don't know. After exams, Erica always likes to go out and have fun in the city. This was the only time I took Erica up on her offer because I need to blow off some steam too, exactly. I'm not sure why today was different, because finals are finally over. That's not where I want to go. Well, for goodness sakes, we're going there anyways, whether you want to or not, Erica. And all my suggestions were rejected. Well, where then? No, we've already been to the library many times to study. We're not going there again to study when we don't need to study anything else. Yeah. I've been waiting to get this whole time. Go this whole time. Exams are over today. I'm going to have you and take me to your favorite library. But I have work today. I don't care. If I say we're going, we're going. Erica, you're being very unfriendly towards your friends. When Erica starts talking like this, she will not listen to anybody. You and I give each other a look. I knew we had no choice but to go. I thought I didn't need to go to the library anymore since exams were over, but the thought of seeing... Oh, goodness sakes, man. Would you stop with looks? Why are people always so obsessed with looks? Looks are only a camouflage to hide your hideous interior. Well, whatever. And off we go. I like how it zoomed on, like, Erica's hand. What's this? I'm not listening. As we got off the bus and started walking along the forest path to the library, Erica started complaining. What's this? What's what? It's a mountain path. We're mountain climbing? I'm so tired. Well, you did want to go to the library, you fool. Mountain climbing? You're overreacting. You're so mean, Kenji. You should give me a piggyback ride. No, I'm not. And it's not because of the fact that you're too heavy, it's because of the fact that I can't support weight on my back. Why? Come on, we're almost there. That means we should not give you the satisfaction. Wow, what's this? How cool. What's what? As soon as we saw the exterior of the library, the fatigue we had been feeling was gone. Erica ran over immediately. It's really here? It looks like the sky to me. It's amazing, it looks like Cinderella's castle. I don't think it does at all. Exactly. Yeah, it definitely doesn't. Let's go in. Completely ignoring our remarks, Erica fearlessly walked in with her hand on the door. And then, oh my god. Hey, shush. What's this? It's like a museum. What's this? Shut up already. Alright, shh. The two of us struggled to restrain Erica, who could only express her shock out loud, and went into the room on the right, as one does. Hey! It had been a while since I had seen Shiori. Okay, so they're not the same person, Yuno and Shiori. She was as pretty... For goodness sakes, man! She seemed to notice me too, and I thought I saw her mouth start to move, but... Wow, so many books. Noticing the presence of a loudmouth with me, Shiori returned to her stiff expression. Sorry, Shiori. Our friend here is what you would call a little bit loud. Has a bit of verbal diarrhea. You see, today our friend really wants to come here. At Yuna's excuse, Shiori held out her basket and glanced at Erica, who sighed and then lowered her eyes. Erica, put your phone in the basket. Huh? Why? It's a rule here. We have to leave our cell phones and anything that makes noise until we leave. Huh? Really? Then could we detach Erica's voice box and then put that within the basket as well? Oh dear, Erica's voice box is the loudest thing in the library. What? Oh, it's Kenji, long time no see. Hello, Michi. While we were goofing around, Michi appeared. Oh, Michi, exams are finally over. Michi and I were happily chatting while Erica interrupted us, obviously curious to know what we were talking about. Hello, hello, and welcome one and all. A friend of yours? Yes, Kenji and Yun have been taking care of me. I'm Erica Kimishima, and we're all in the same class. Michi looked at Erica curiously for a moment, and then she smiled and greeted her as well. It's a pleasure to meet you. I am Michi Kasaragi. This is Shiori Tokaita. So many introductions. Nice to meet you. Shiori greeted Erica with a slight bow on her chin. Shiori must find such lovely people to be a nuisance. Lively, sorry, not lovely. I didn't know there was a library in the mountains like this. It's a hidden gem, like a hideaway. Yes, I guess so. What's with that goddamn week? Erica, why'd you always have to be like this? Anyway, let's move on. Even the always cool-headed Michi seemed confused by Erica's aggressiveness, especially since it was their first time meeting. We're not even in the mountains, so just read quietly. Exactly. Yes, quietly. I'm sorry, Miss Kasaragi. Yuna bowed her head to Michi and apologized. I wondered how much this girl apologized for Erica exactly. Erica, we have a few fashion magazines if you'd like to take a look. Oh really? I want to see them. Now that Michi had Erica's attention, so I was finally able to move around freely. I swear, if the next sentence mentions the word Shiori, I am going to be absolutely mad at you, Kenji, because for goodness sakes, you need to get your head out of the gutter and stop looking at someone's exterior and learn about their interior. Oh dear, what did I say? What did I just say? Well, at least it's not all bad. Sorry about all the noise. I'll try. No, I promise to keep her as quiet as possible. Oh yeah, it's almost Christmas, right? At my mention of Christmas, Shiori glanced at the calendar, but she didn't seem too interested. Any plans for Christmas, Shiori? I looked at the piece of paper that Shiori had silently offered me, and it was the library holiday schedule. According to it, neither the 24th nor the 25th of December was a holiday. So they don't know anything about Christmas. Is that so? Wait a minute. That means if I come here for Christmas, I'll get to spend... Oh, for goodness sakes. Why? Why are people like this? Why do people only care about exterior? Like it doesn't matter what they do, it's all about how they look and what they do with that look. It doesn't matter what they do as long as they keep looking like that. It doesn't matter what they do. They could commit any kind of crime, I would still love them because they look like that. Hello VTubers. Well, it won't be just the two of us, but I might get the chance to give her a present of sorts. Thanks for telling me. Yeah, she's surprised by that. I was in a good mood when I went back to my seat, thinking about what would be a good gift for Shiori. No idea. Tahaji, I see. So you're a friend of Yuna's, huh? Yes, I am. But who is speaking here? That's surprising. I didn't expect an intelligent person like you would choose to have this kind of friend. What do you mean choose? I'm telling you, I'm Yuna. I chose Yuna. She didn't choose me. I didn't know how long they had been here, but Yuna and Erica were chatting with two of the regulars. Oh, okay. Perhaps it's because of its location, but the number of visitors is extremely small. However, just as every stop has its regulars, Tahaita Library has a few besides me, and I recently started chatting a bit with two of them. The fat one is Futoshi Tahaji. His name even means a beast in Japanese, okay. The nervous looking skinny guy is Hosokawa. Both of them are an odd pair, and I couldn't help but have a weird laugh when I saw them because of a weird pairing of Erica and Yuna. How stylish. That uniform looks just like the one from Rumble Academy. Huh? What's that? You've never heard of it? It's an anime that was regrettably discontinued after 2 seasons. I can lend you the DVDs if you want. No, I don't even watch anime. That's so weird. Hey, Erica. Yuna, how about you? What do you think of the 2013 paper on the molecular mechanisms of synaptic plasticity and memory? Well, I'm not familiar. Come on, speak our language. You're being weird. You're being all nerdy. And they seem to be talking to Erica and Yuna, each bring up their own interests to find common ground, but both were striking out. Exactly. Hey, I've got a chocolate bar. Do you want? You can't have food in here. You know the rules. I don't want it, weirdo. So, the molecule basis of host cell so-and-so in viral infection. Okay, can be found out. I don't understand what you're talking about. Okay, weird. But, don't talk to me, weirdo. So, weird, creepy, gross. I've been watching from the sidelines for a while, but Erica seemed out of control, so I had no choice but to intervene. Hey there. Oh, Kenji, help me. These guys are super creepy. I wonder if Erica had any words like rude or impolite in her vocabulary. Exactly. I'm not sure that honesty is a virtue at this point. You were here this whole time? Are you guys classmates? Yes, we are. Sorry she's offended you with the way she talks. When I apologized for Erica's behavior, Tahaji didn't seem too concerned, but Hosokawa seemed irritated as quickly adjusted his glasses. Let me warn you, if he weren't a gentleman, who knows what would have happened. What do you mean by that? Saying things like, you're weird, you're creepy, to people who is nothing but a catalyst for friction in interpersonal relationships. What are you trying to get at then? Ugh, so weird. Erica. Well, Mr. Hosokawa, words like creepy are commonly unused by girls nowadays. Just so happen has no deep meaning. Oh, really? No, I was dead serious. I'm literally being serious. I said creepy because you are. Okay, enough already. As far as I'm concerned, they were both in the wrong. I mean, Tahaji and Hosokawa actually are creepy, but I wasn't so sure Erica should be the one to say so. Exactly. You know who's in the middle of it all was the biggest victim. Exactly. And why is she always still within the frame? She's not even here, physically. She's elsewhere. Man, you people are why I hate libraries. Then why did you come here in the first place then, Erica? What do you mean by you people? Nerds and geeks. Erica, you shouldn't step forth into someone else's club and say, hey, I hate all of you because that's my feelings. Those are my feelings. It was so direct, even the two of them were speechless. That just got her going. Erica couldn't stop. Guys who read books all the time are such know-it-alls and lame. Men should be athletic, clean-cut, and good-looking, just like Kenji. Don't bring us into this. What? Me? I was surprised that this weird conversation became about me. Grr. Mr. Hoosaka, do you want a chocolate bar? No, I don't like sweets. And that's peanuts, right? I'm allergic. That's too bad. I appreciate the offer. Wanting to escape the awkwardness of the situation, Takahashi and Hosokawa started having their own conversation. I'm really sorry. Erica, let's just go to the other room, okay? It looked like a fight was going to break out like this. What do you mean, like this? So Yuna pulled Erica's hand and took her out of the room. That's probably for the best. Why do we have to run away? We're not running away, it's just that it's your first time here and I thought I'd show you around. Come to think of it, I've only ever been in this part of the library. Because that's where Shiori is, isn't she? Isn't that the case, dear protagonist? Where's your head at? When I realised this, I decided to talk to Yuna about it. What other rooms are there here? This part of the library has the general collection and children's books, and right across this room were special reference books like medical and physics books. At the end of the stairs, there's a woman's room and a men's room. And when you go upstairs, there's a map and history room, and a room for some valuables, but I've never gone in there. Okay, so that's restricted then. What do you mean by valuables? I don't know, some kind of treasure. Erica, if you're thinking about doing anything to those treasures that could resemble about the synopsis of this game, then for goodness sakes, then the reason why we're going to be trapped in this library is because of you, Erica. Once Una mentioned the word treasure, Erica reacted with full force. What could the treasure be? Jewels? Gold coins? A crown? A crown? The treasures that Erica imagined were on the level of fairy tales exactly. It's amazing how libraries usually have that stuff. Usually have stuff like that. No, they don't. I don't know if there are any prizes jewels, but this isn't your average library. What do you mean? Yes, well, you know this is not a library built by the town or the government, but by Sayori's late grandfather. Una then pointed to the top of the stairs. I looked up at the landing and I saw a magnificent bust with a strong presence. Exactly. That bronze statue is Sayori's grandfather. Wow, it's so amazing that he built his own library? That means it must be a treasure room full of gold coins. Again, coming to presumptions, are we, Erica? Oh dear, when Erica started talking about old wives' tales again, Una just kept nodding her head. But it's a library, so I'm not sure anyone would keep jewelries here. They so would, just picture it, looking at the jewels at night, drinking No! Who would do all that, exactly? What kind of person would do that? However, there was no doubt that he was a very wealthy man to have built a library and employed his own doctor. I want to see the treasure. I told you it's impossible. No, I have to see it. If we become friends, then I can get to see it. Erica, just because you want to see it does not mean that that's how the world works, okay? What do you mean become friends? In Erica's mind, she was probably already imagining a treasure trove like the British royal family. Hey! Her eyes were sparkling. Genji, Una, I'll be here every day over a week-long break. I don't mind. I'll be working here part-time anyway. I thought I was going to be able to get close to Sayori, but that would have... There will be interference every day. Erica interference. I could help but resent Una for working part-time here. Goodness sakes, Erica. Stop it on the way home. You're going to keep talking about treasure, aren't you? Erica was in a much better mood than she had been on the way to the bus stop, and her steps were light as she skipped along. So self-absorbed. But I'm glad you're in a better mood. The complaining will start again soon anyway. Saying something like the bus isn't coming. Looking at the timetable at the stop, it looked like we had more than 20 minutes before the bus would arrive. Still no bus? No, it's coming soon. Okay. Then Erica opened her bag, took out a fashion magazine, and started reading it. And then... Huh? Oh wait, did you steal something from the library? When Una looked at the magazine and stared at it curiously, Erica replied without any remorse. I borrowed it a while ago. What, from the library? I'm pretty sure they don't lend them out. Is that so? You didn't tell anyone you were borrowing it? You're a thief! You're overreacting, it's fine, I'll return it tomorrow, you're still a thief nonetheless. It's not fine, give it to me! What are you doing? I'm going to return it now, you two go home. Okay. Come on, I can't help it, if I didn't know the rules. With Erica's voice booming behind me, I turned back to the forest path. I couldn't believe it. Even in a normal library, you have to go through a procedure to borrow a book, but I couldn't believe she just took it without saying anything. When did she even have the chance to hide it in her bag? You can't be too careful, exactly. And then I carefully opened the entrance door a little and slid myself in. If possible, I wanted to sneak in back without anyone finding me. And then there she was. Yikes! Suddenly, someone called out from behind and let out a cry like a cat that just had its tail stepped on. I hurriedly turned around to see Shiori standing there, her brow wrinkled as if she had been offended by my scream. Sorry, I got a little startled. Now that she had seen me, I had no choice but to give Shiori the magazine I was holding. I think my friend took it by mistake, so I came to return it. Shiori looked a little surprised when she saw me with the magazine, but I couldn't tell if it was because I'd taken the book or because I'd come all the way back. I'm really sorry, it's my fault for not telling her the rules first, please forgive her. As I bowed my head, Shiori piled the magazine on top of a book she was holding and muttered something. But thank you. Yeah. Thank you as well. I wondered if it was the sun setting shining through the skylight that made her cheeks look faintly flushed. I couldn't believe I heard those words come out of her mouth. It really does pay, to be honest, exactly. God, I'm going to live an honest life now, from now on. Exactly. What if it isn't Kenji? What's happened? Oh, I forgot something. I can help but lie to Michi when she came out from the stairs. I was just preaching about being honest. Is that so? But you better hurry up or you'll miss the bus. And you have to wait 50 minutes for the next one. Well, I'm going home. See you tomorrow. Thank you. Having to stand outside for 50 minutes in this weather is no joke. I waved goodbye to the two of them and quickly left the library. Wow, it really was that long. See you tomorrow? Michi muttered something and looked at Shiori's face. Shiori was expressionless, but Michi understood her. As she held the book to her chest, there was a slight surge of power. I'm going to my room. Yes, that's fine. I'll bring you some medicine later. Medicine, you say? Kenji. Maybe I need to speed things up a little. What do you mean by that? In a private room on the second floor of the Tokaido library, Shiori walked straight up to the mirror hanging on a pillar that's surrounded by books. That person came to return a magazine. If he hadn't said anything, no one would have known. She murmured to herself in a tiny little voice. Shiori spoke as if she was talking to herself. That person is so beautiful. I'm going to want to keep... Wow. I expected this from Kenji to Shiori, but not Shiori to Kenji. Shiori stared at herself in the mirror with an entranced look on her face. And... December 16th. Okay. December 16th it is, and Erica called me up in the morning and invited me to go to the library like she declared she would do yesterday. Somehow Yuna, who works part-time at the library, and I both got entangled with Michi. And that's why... Michi? Yes? It seems that Operation Become Friends is in full swing. Operation... Steins Gate inspired? Atnia inspired? I don't know. But Michi is not a library employee. In addition to that, Michi didn't seem to be interested in talking to Erica at all. I feel like I'm a nuisance. You are a... No, wait. I was thinking that Erica was saying that you're not a nuisance, Yuna. I feel guilty. Sighing in frustration, Yuna regained her composure and turned to me. By the way, Kenji, if you're looking for something to read, you should have a look at the recommended book section. Oh, you have one of those sections? Yeah, it's on the bookshelf by the counter. Thanks, I'll take a look. So I left my seat to choose a book and Yuna went back to organizing the books. Which one is it? This month's recommendation book is on the bookshelf that Yuna mentioned. There were several books lined up on a shelf at eye level with their covers visible. Unlike bookstores, they don't need to push bestsellers, so I was curious to see what their standards were. An Evening of Lamenting the Dead, Kokuren. Walking in Space, Wives in Silent Prayer. Here's a statue. It was a mix of different genres and a bunch of titles I've never heard of. Never ever heard of. I know that the word was just on 2 lines, but still. It might just be that I didn't know much about books, but I didn't know which one I wanted to read even from that section. that's election. At any rate, I picked up a suitable book and returned to my seat almighty and proud, and when we get to the book itself it will contain... No, not Erica. For goodness sakes, Erica. What is it? And I swear, if you mention treasure, sorry, that's going to be so annoying. As soon as I take my seat, a grinning Erica sat down in the chair beside me. You know, I think this library is pretty great. What's so great about it? They even have a basement. That's creepy. Also, that armor on the stairs has actually been worn by someone. Who's that? I don't know who. A soldier? On their shoulders? Isn't it amazing? It looks like it's worth millions. Stop thinking about goddamn money in your back pocket, Erica. Yeah, it's amazing. What are you going to do with that information? Nothing really, just idle curiosity. I wonder if this was like when gossips watch entertainment news. When it had nothing to do with you, but you're just dying to know. That thing was hard for me to understand. And that treasure room, it seems to contain a bunch of treasure that people from museums sometimes come to borrow. What do you think is in there, Kenji? Oh, for goodness sake, stop going on about treasure, please. A diamond the size of a softball or a golden toilet bowl? Who the bloody hell would want a toilet bowl that's golden? Made out of gold. You know, you say all that, but you have no idea what's in there, do you? Because Michi left in the middle of our conversation. Well, she ran away. Yeah, that's more accurate. Let's cut the chit-chat. What are you up to? As I opened my mouth to scold Erica, a tremendous shout rang out from somewhere. Erica and I went over to where the voice came from to see what was going on, and alas, it was... You two? Sorry? Sorry won't cut it. Oh my god. There was Yuno crawling on the book-strewn floor, and Shiori trembling with anger. Shiori's eyes peeled open, and her face was tingled with a look of anger I'd never seen or even imagined before. My hand just slipped. Just slipped? Don't be ridiculous. My precious book is... I looked and saw that the cover of one of the old books had been removed. Wait, what happened here? As I was putting the books away, one almost fell out of my hands. I quickly grabbed it by the cover and tore... And I truly am very sorry. This is unforgivable. An apology won't fix it. Wait, calm down. It wasn't too difficult to stop Shiori from grabbing hold of Yuna. The small and weak Shiori struggled in my arms. I'm sorry, I'll pay for the damage. It's not about the money. That priceless book was something my grandfather brought for me. That book. That book. That book must have been very important for the normally quiet Shiori to get angry, exactly. Anyone could tell how much Shiori loved her late grandfather and his books. However, Erica, who failed to read the room, was upset. What? You don't have to get so angry, it's just a book. Oh, don't say that. Memories. Just a book? Yuna has apologized and offered to pay for it, right? You're too rich to be acting this petty. Damn. What's wrong? Suddenly Shiori crouched down, holding her chest. Shiori, are you okay? Michi, who had come over to hear the commotion, ran up to Shiori. Hush, stay calm, breathe slowly. Damn. Michi held Shiori in a hug and rubbed her back slowly while looking up at us. So, what in the world happened? I'm sorry, I was careless and I ripped a book. I see. But she was also neuron. She got so worked up even after apologizing. Don't provoke Shiori any further. The force of Michi's words made even Erica unable to say anything else. Yuna, don't worry about the book anymore. Just be careful next time. Okay, I'm sorry. At that moment I was just stunned, and I just stood there like a statue. I wonder if the Shiori just now was the same Shiori from earlier. I can't believe she could get so angry and raise her voice that loud. Stop thinking that someone so pretty can't be so angry. Shiori, Let's go. You need to take your medicine. Are you alright? Yes, I'm fine. I'll feel better soon. I'm sorry for making such a commotion. No. Midgie helped Shiori stand up and then left the room. The three of us stood in silence for a while in the quiet room. However, Erica was always the one to start talking at a time like this. What the hell was that? Oh, stop. No matter how important it is, it's just a book made of a bunch of pieces of paper. She could just buy another one. Erica, you're being insensitive. I understood what Erica was saying, but for Shiori, it was probably more than just a book. It was something that she cherished. And if somebody, Erica, were to stand on, let's say, your scarf, or your gloves, or anything like that, or your favorite brand of makeup, then you would be upset as well. But the difference being is that you can't see when you upset somebody on something which would not normally upset you. I'm sure a book was filled with memories of her grandfather. Exactly. But it was my fault. It can't be helped. Why is a picture of Michi there when it's Yuna talking? Erica yells at Yuna and me as we were both dejected. Nonsense. I can't stand it when a lady yells at my best friend like that. A lady? What do you mean a lunatic? That's it. I'm gonna take away the So for one thing, she cares. Why are you being so mean, Erica? What the hell are you talking about? Erica started sprouting nonsense again. She grabbed Yuna's hand before I could do or say anything. I'm going to make sure you get your revenge. What? I'm not looking to get revenge. Erica held up Yuna's hand like she was hyping up a champion boxer. I'm not supporting this action, Erica. Oh, she was definitely thinking of something stupid again. I let out a deep sigh as I thought about it. If only I'd lectured and gotten after Erica more this time instead of being so dumbfounded. All that trouble could have been avoided. Let's see now. What date are we on? No date, apparently. No date? Something happened. Oh, dearie me. I'm not too sure what we can do at this point. And we can't exactly go backwards. No, we can't go backwards. We can only go forward. Yeah, the scene still is not yet loaded up. Well, folks, we are going to end things off here. And hopefully we can do better in the next time. And the next cutscene actually opens up, etc., etc. So, hope you enjoy that for what it is, folks. I'm a little disconnected with this game. I'm not sure if it's the grammar or if it's just because of the overall tone the game is giving so far, but there's a lot of the same words being copy and pasted here and there when it comes to the dialogue of the game. It seems like a lot of things are quite forced to the player, so that it's like, well, hi, I'm this, hi, I'm that sort of stuff. But also as well, the overall tone just seems kind of generic. But generic doesn't mean bad, but generic can also mean, well, I've seen the same thing over and over again. It's just on a different character visual with a different character name and stuff like that. But anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching, and we shall see each other in the next time of Dark Reflections if we are able to get this game up and working again. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves.